So I've just gotten ready here to show you how to make an amazing cookie recipe. We call these Rawkalicious Cookies. And how it came about was one day I was making almond milk and we had the almond pulp left over. And it was actually when we were creating Rawkalicious. And Tracy had just gone to take a shower and we were going to go down to the market to get some apple cider and good things. And while she was in the shower, I took the almond pulp and just mixed together things around her kitchen that I found, which was cacao and currants and hemp seeds and sesame seeds and honey, coconut. She had glass bottles of everything all around. She has a beautiful display of things. And goji berries and pumpkin seeds. And put them all together in a bowl and then flattened them out. And when she came out of the shower, they were going into the dehydrator. And it took like 5 minutes. It doesn't seem like... And you can substitute ingredients too, but it's really, it turned out great and we keep making them now. So before I even tell you what ingredients we're going to use, I'm going to soak the pumpkin seeds and goji berries because they need to soak while I'm creating the rest and they just go in at the end. So first, there is half a cup of pumpkin seeds in here, and I'm taking a quarter cup of goji berries. Quite quarter cup. A few more. That's more like quarter cup. And pour water over them. And we'll just let those soak while we do the rest. Normally they're soaking for 3 to 4 hours, 2 to 4 hours. This time it may be half an hour by the time we get to them. So at the very end we're just going to add those in. And that's fine. That'll get the goji berries soft and plump and the seeds, some of the enzyme inhibitors taken off the seeds. Ideally 2 to 4 hours is good, but if you're in a rush, as we often are, just soak them first and then by the end you can put them in. Okay, so the rest of the ingredients are, we're going to take a cup of the almond pulp, a cup of walnuts, 2 bananas. That's going to be our base. I'm going to process the walnuts to make them smaller and kind of chunky, mash up the bananas with the almond pulp, and that's the base of it. And then we just add and stir in some coconut, a half cup of coconut, half a cup of sesame seeds, half a cup of currants, half a cup of cacao nibs, quarter cup of hemp seeds, a quarter cup of honey, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of our freshly made vanilla that we just ground up, vanilla beans and water. So you can use the same with just vanilla extract if that's what you have, or you can scrape out the seeds of a vanilla bean. Half a vanilla bean would be wonderful. So, okay, I'm going to start just putting everything in the bowl. I'm just going to pause here for a second because I just want to make sure I got all the, the quarter cup honey, a teaspoon, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 cup of the almond pulp in. That's most of it, which is good. If I was at home, I would dump it all in, but I'm going to go according to the recipe here. Because I come from the east coast of Canada, and I don't know if it's because I come from there or if it's just the family that I grew up with, but I'm used to just throwing things in a bowl and making stuff and it works out. Now the walnuts I'm going to process. I'm going to put them in the food processor to grind them down to a smaller size. And those could have all gone in too. Give or take quarter of a cup in anything here would be good. So, we're fortunate to have a huge, incredible industrial food processor here. were a couple big pieces, so I just pulsed it down, which usually does them. You don't really need a big processor this time, but sometimes we make these in really big batches and it comes in very handy, this thing. Okay, so almond pulp, walnuts, these out of the way, and mash the bananas. Which I could have done at the start and the bottom there, but I'll mash them in a separate bowl. These bananas are not terribly ripe. I like them a little bit riper because they're sweeter. So you can always add a little bit more honey or sweetener if you have bananas that don't have the brown sugar spots on them. I like them sweet. And then with a fork, just mash them. Bananas could also have been put in the processor and done too really quickly. But I kind of like the little chunks of banana when you mash them with the fork. Sometimes there's little chunks of bananas in the cookies and they dehydrate like that. Very good.